Nice to meet you, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. You really tried, not halfway, not casually, not in a let's see what happened way. You gave it your time, your focus, your energy, your heart, and it still didn't work out. That's the part that hurts the most, because when you don't try and something fails, at least there's distance. But when you give your whole self and it still falls apart, it feels personal. It makes you question things, not just the situation, but yourself. You start wondering if you miss it, something, if you want enough, if effort is supposed to guarantee an outcome, but effort doesn't always equal result, and that doesn't erase the sincerity you brought into it. You stayed up thinking about it. You showed up even when you were tired. You kept going even when you were unsure. That matters, even if no one else saw it, even if no one clapped, even if ending wasn't what you hoped for. The disappointment you are holding right now isn't dramatic. It's honest. It's honest. When you give something your best and there's nothing visible to show for it, it leaves this quiet emptiness, a kind of sadness that doesn't know where to land. You are allowed to feel that. You are allowed to sit in it without turning it into a lesson, without rushing to be positive, without forcing meaning out of it. You don't need a motivational speech right now. You just need space for the truth. You tried and it mattered. Even if the result didn't stay, you are not your outcome. You are not your result. You are the courage it took to show up fully. You are the persistence that kept you there longer than it was easy. You are the heart that cared enough to risk disappointment. That's not failure. That's bravery. you already over it. If you need a moment to grieve what didn't happen, you can take it. You can take it. You can take it. There's no shame. There is no shame. There is no shame in needing to sit with what you lost. Not forever. Not forever. Not forever. Not dramatically. Just honestly. Right now, you don't have to prove strengths. You don't have to explain anything. You can just exist here with that happy feeling and let it be real. Your effort was real. Your hope was real. Your care was real. And those things don't disappear just because the outcome did something inside you. It's still intact even now, even in the disappointment. You're still someone who shows up, still someone who tried, still someone who believes enough to risk being let down. That's rare, and it's still yours. So if tonight feels quiet, if it feels heavier than you expected, you don't have to rush forward. You can rest. You can breathe. You can let the weight settle without turning it into self-blame. You tried, and that still matters. You still matter. You can rest. You can breathe. You can let the weight settle. I hope you sleep well tonight. I hope you sleep well tonight. Good night. Good night.